Hi, Dirty Girl here with another vintage haul, no, not a vintage haul video, a vintage sales report video. This is going to be for the month of April 2017, and I'm going to show you my vintage sales on eBay and Etsy. If I could get, there we go. And I guess I will start with Etsy this month since that's what's coming up. Almost all my sales were Etsy this month. There were just a couple of eBays. And let's see, what else do I have to tell you before I start? This has been my best month ever, mostly due to a few really big ticket items that sold. And these are the sales price. It does not include any fees that I pay to Etsy or eBay or the cost of the item. And in all cases, the buyer pays shipping. And they'll usually pay very close to the actual shipping cost for me. So, the first item I want to show you is this primitive carved wood and painted bunny rabbit. I bought it for $10 at the flea market and it sold for $34. Oh, and I'm not going to show you all my sales. I'm just going to show you the more interesting and or lucrative sales. I made a lot of sales between, say, $15 and $25 for, you know, beaded necklaces and things like that. A lot of beaded necklaces sold, a lot of turquoise rings and things like that. But I just want to show you the more interesting things. So bunny rabbit sold for $34. And then this bracelet, this is a Coro Aurora Borealis rhinestone, and it's also kind of painted metal. Really pretty, sparkly bracelet. This came from my sister-in-law, so I paid nothing for that. And it sold for $24. And this is a pair of eyeglasses from the 1970s. The brand is Ropco, R-O-P-C-O, from West Germany. And a thank you to Margaret of Texas Gal Treasures and for Dorky Thrifters, who I think they're the ones who started the whole thing with the vintage glasses, but I learned about it from Margaret. And so I started keeping my eyes open for good quality vintage glasses frames at a good price. And these nice aviator glasses I paid $5 for, and they sold for $40. I got them at the flea market. And this is one of my beloved Art Deco vanity trays. It's made of celluloid. It's this lace and embroidery is under glass. Very pretty. I paid $10 for that at the flea market and sold it for $42. All right, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Okay, there we go. I just wanted to include this because it's kind of interesting. This came from my sister-in-law, so I paid nothing for this. I was hoping it would be silver, but as it turns out, it's not. It's like steel. And it has no marks on it and no maker name, but it did sell pretty well just on the basis of design alone. And it sold for $28. So keep your eye open for things that are really striking, big, chunky jewelry, really eye-catching, even if it doesn't have a name on it. Sometimes you can make a good profit on those. And these are some fun old round clip-on sunglasses, probably from the 1930s or 1940s. They have a real good steampunk look to them. And I paid $6 for those at the flea market and sold them for $26. And this is a World War II era, sort of a sweetheart charm bracelet. Basically anything with a World War II connection to the military is going to go for a premium price. As a sterling silver bracelet, it probably wouldn't have gone for more than, I don't know, $25 maybe. But because it was an Army Air Corps, has the Great Seal of the U.S. Army Eagle, because of all that, it sold for $62. And I paid, basically $1 for that. It was part of a lot of jewelry I bought from a friend. And this is a Pearpoint manufacturing company silver plate condiment caddy with these cute milk glass hand-painted little bottles. It was not in perfect shape. One of the lids was stuck on. One of the lids was too loose, and there were, I think it was the mustard jar had, you know, kind of some sediment in it that I couldn't get out. So it definitely had some condition issues. I paid $10 for it, I think. Yeah, $10, and it sold for $38. Just, it has a really nice Art Nouveau detailing on it. And I guess Pearpoint is a fairly desirable manufacturer. And this is one of my big ticket items. These are sterling silver beads. It was a total of 150 grams of silver, so a nice heavy necklace. This was part of a lot of jewelry, silver jewelry that I bought from a friend. I paid $100 for the lot, and so I priced these out at about $24, and because this was definitely the biggest piece in the lot. And this sold for $320. And this is one of the glass paperweights that I bought. It was signed by Bart Stevens, who turned out to be not a super important designer or anything. I did pay $10 for it, and it sold for $26. So not a huge profit on that, but not a disaster either. The Native American jewelry continues to sell very well. This is, I'm pretty sure it's a Zuni piece. I had in the title Zuni or Navajo, but I think it's Zuni, just because of the beautiful inlay work. And it had opal, amethyst, and onyx. Just a really well done, beautiful piece in sterling silver. And I paid up for that. I paid $20 for that, mostly because of the opal. And I sold that for $58. And this is a piece, this is an etching print. I do really well with artwork, original art, and prints and etchings and lithographs and that type of thing. This was a known artist. No, I take it back, it's not, because I couldn't even figure out how to read the name. But it was a nice, a good style, I mean a good, a skillful etching of a famous street. And it was small, 4x6. And I paid $4 for that at the flea market and sold it for $25, so not too bad. And this is a good name you should watch out for. It's Rune Tennismed, Tennesmed, from Sweden. He does modernist pewter jewelry. The first time that I bought a piece of this, I just liked the kind of modernist look of it. I didn't really know anything about it, but was very pleased to find out that it sells well. So I got this at the flea market for $2 and sold it for $28. And this is a jadeite ring, kind of a pale green. I wasn't sure what it was exactly when I bought it. I knew it was sterling silver, but I wasn't sure what the stone was. But I came home and looked at it through the magnifying glass and decided it was, in fact, jadeite. And I paid $8 for that and sold it for $58. And this was the biggest ticket of the month. This is a brass ashtray made by Arne Jacobsen. It is a hotel ashtray in their cylinder line of Stilton brassware from Denmark. Again, Scandinavian stuff really does well for me. I paid $5 for this at the flea market. It was a little bit, you know, kind of used. It wasn't super clean. But anyway, I sold that for $450, and it did sit for a while. Definitely sat for a while. And of course, you know, Etsy has had a little bit of trouble with orders not processing very fast, especially international orders. And this one sat for, I think it was 5 days before it processed. And I was like in constant contact with the buyer going, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's going through. I can't send it until they tell me it's the payment's gone through okay, but he was a very good sport about it, even though he had wanted it. I ended up mailing it express mail to him, and he paid for it. And anyway, yeah, $450 for that, so oh, happy day. And this is an Elgin antique pocket watch. Dates from 1912. I figured that out by opening it up and looking at all the dates inside. And I got this from my friend for nothing. And it sold for $95. It was in real clean condition and working real well, keeping time. And this is another Black Hills gold ring. It has a very distinctive look. If you ever see it, it does sell really well. Every time I get a piece of it, it sells very quickly. The ring itself is sterling silver. Only these little leaf pieces are gold, and they're applied. They're not like plated or anything. They're real little pieces of gold kind of stuck on. And it's only from South Dakota. And this one was made by the earliest maker, which is Landstrom's. They were the first people to do it, I think. Anyway, I paid, let's see, where'd that go? Black Hills go. Oh, I paid $21 for that, but it sold for $75, so pretty good. And little teapots continue to do pretty well. I like teapots a lot, and I like to display them around my house while I'm waiting for them to sell. This happens to be a Hall teapot, and this pattern is called the Parade Swirl. And I got this at an estate sale for $7, and it sold for $32. Just love that bright color. Okay, where are you? Where are you? There you go. Okay, this is a Mexican sterling silver panel bracelet. This type of stonework is called Mosaico Azteca. It's where it's kind of like a chip mosaic. And this has turquoise and malachite and lapis, and it was signed by the artist. You'll see a lot of it dating earlier than the 50s or 60s, like even in the 1930s. This might be older than 50s and 60s. I'm not sure where I got that date. I'm sure I had a reason for it. But anyway, I paid $15 for this, and it sold for $45. Love the Mexican silver. And this is a sterling silver onyx and marcasite ring. I sold that for, let's see, I paid $9 for it and sold it for $41. And this is another one of my big sales. This is a sterling silver, extremely large pendant necklace in kind of a brutalist style. Look at the size of this thing. And it has tiger's eye in it. It's really, really beautiful. I paid $30 for that at the flea market and sold it for $225. I did have to sit on that for a while also. And this is a little gold, 14 karat gold charm necklace. It's in the shape of an Academy Award Oscar, and it actually was to commemorate the Best Picture win for, or rather this went to the film editor, William Lyon. From Here to Eternity in 1953. It was belonged to his wife, who his wife's niece had a lot of her things after she died, and they were things that I ended up with from my friend. And I sold that for $99. And this is another glass piece. This is ornamental blown glass, or OBG as it says on the bottom. It's a really pretty piece, and that was another of my big glass haul. I paid $10 for that and sold it for $29. This is a smoky quartz and sterling silver ring. Bought this mostly because it had very nice looking silver work. These leaves that kind of embrace the smoky quartz stone. It's a big ring too. Sorry, my 15 minutes of fame were up. Oops. I was talking about the smoky quartz ring. So I paid $15 for that at the flea market, and I sold it for $55. And then next we have an eBay sale. It's only $15, but there's a little bit of a funny story behind it. This actually came from a lot of things that a friend of mine gave me to get rid of for her. And inside it was a pair of bronzed baby shoes. And the bronzed baby shoes are not worth very much, but I was kind of intrigued by this box because it's an Old Spice cologne gift box. And I looked into it a little bit. You know, vintage packaging can be very valuable sometimes. And it turned out that this was the very first gift box that Old Spice made. And it was only made between the years of 1938 and 1941. And that's because it was made in Japan, and when World War II broke out, they had to go to a different kind of box. So they went to just a plain cardboard box. So, people who sell the vintage Old Spice bottles sometimes are looking for packages to pair them up with and increase the value. So I was a little disappointed it only sold for $15, but my husband thought it was pretty hilarious that I had sold an Old Spice deodorant box on eBay, because he's convinced I'll sell anything on eBay if given half a chance. Okay, well anyway. And the baby shoes still haven't sold. And this was another one of my big ticket sales. And I'm asked a lot of times how I decide what to put on Etsy and what to put on eBay. And this is an example of why I put something on eBay. I saw that these Minerva yachting stopwatches were going for a lot of different prices, but pretty high. And I didn't see any that were exactly like this in exactly this condition, which it was in actually very good condition. So I listed it. I think I started it at $75, and I had 28 bids, and it went all the way up to $179.50. So that's why I put things on eBay, is because I hope that's going to happen. It doesn't happen real often, but it does sometimes, and it's always fun to hear all the ka-chings coming on my phone. And okay, I guess that's it. All right, thanks for watching. My store on Etsy is vintagedazzle.etsy.com, and on eBay I sell as Carolinix. There's my seller information right there. You can see I don't have all that many sales on eBay. I have 259 feedbacks. But anyway, there I am. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.